Lakers battle Clippers. The Clippers just added Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. The Lakers still have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So which duo is better? And which team is going to be the first to bring a championship to LA? Well, on this journey, we're going to take a deep dive into the battle for LA. We're going to examine the new additions for both teams, and we're going to see just how these two teams stack up against each other.
Let the battle for Los Angeles begin.
Welcome back to the Journey of a Ballaholic, the best talk show for basketball addicts. I'm your host, General Hannibal X. Now, if you're looking for in-depth and passionate analysis on the hottest NBA and college basketball topics, well, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Tap that notification bell so that you'll be updated whenever there's a new episode that drops, which is every Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the beginning of this video, but before we do, as always, go down to the comment section below. And for the comment of the day, I want you to let me know who you think is going to be the first team to bring a championship back to LA. Now, unless you've been hiding under a rock somewhere, everybody's heard about the Battle of LA that's been going on for the services of the top free agent on the market, Kawhi Leonard. It's been told for any team involved, keep the contents of those meetings on a hush-hush so that you can earn the trust of Kawhi Leonard. Just like that, late Friday night, early Saturday morning, we all received a Woj bomb of epic proportion. It was announced by Adrian Wojnarowski that Kawhi Leonard was signing a 4-year deal worth $142 million to sign with the LA Clippers, not the Lakers. Listen, this thing sent shockwaves through the Clipper Nation. They finally had hope that they would be able to get out of the second round for the first time in franchise history. Well, now, simultaneously, the Laker Nation was rocked. All the dreams that we had of being able to form a super mega team went down the drain. Now, as both franchises found themselves on the opposite end of the spectrum, reacting to the Kawhi Leonard news, even more groundbreaking news came when it was announced that Paul George had been traded from the Oklahoma City Thunder to the Los Angeles Clippers. Listen, my mind was blown, man. I wake up in the morning and I'm hearing that the Clippers, who were a scrappy 48-win team last year that made the playoffs and battled against Golden State, now overnight, not only have they landed Kawhi Leonard, they've also added Paul George to the squad. Listen, if you're a Clipper fan, I get it. If you want to have dreams of confetti falling from the rafters, I get it. It's your time now. You finally have hope and the idea to be able to dream of a championship, a realistic dream. Listen, the Clippers now boast two of the top 3 two-way players in the game, hands down, bar none. Kawhi Leonard is in the conversation for best player in the game. Paul George is an elite two-way player that can do it on both ends, was a top 3 candidate for MVP just last season. And you're putting these guys together on the same team. Now listen, right off the bat, the Clippers now boast one of the top 2 duo in the entire NBA on both ends of the court. But from a defensive standpoint, I think Kawhi Leonard and Paul George together, this is probably the best duo, perimeter duo on the defensive end that we've seen since Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan over 20 years ago. I'm going to say that again for you. On the defensive end, from a perimeter duo, this is probably the best that we've seen since Scottie and Mike. Think about it. Paul George just last year was a top 3 MVP candidate. Kawhi Leonard is universally known as the best two-way player in the game. You putting these two guys on the same team, they're going to wreak havoc. They are going to wreak havoc on the opposition's perimeter players. Think about the ball pressure that you're going to get. When you're talking about the length, the strength, the defensive IQ that these guys have, and then you add a pit bull like Patrick Beverley to hound the other team's point guard? Man, listen, when you put Patrick Beverley, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard on the perimeter, how are you supposed to score on those guys? Like we're talking about some of the best, if not the best, defenders at their position. We saw Patrick Beverley trying to hound Kevin Durant. Patrick Beverley's what, 6'1", Kevin Durant's 6'11", 7 feet, and he had enough heart, enough grit in him to go after Kevin Easy Money Sniper Durant. Come on, people. This is going to be, listen, The Clippers literally should have nothing less than a top 2 defense next year. They should be a top 2 defense when you're talking about Doc Rivers as the coach, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Patrick Beverley, even a guy like Montrezl Harrell. Okay, Montrezl Harrell is not an elite defender, but when he has these perimeter defenders that are elite in front of him, putting pressure on him, sending guys to him, he's going to be his defense will take another jump next year. He's a great energy guy. Montrezl Harrell comes off the bench and gives the Clippers, last year specifically, gave them one of the best benches in the entire NBA because of his contribution. He was up for 6th man of the year in that running with Lou Williams, and Montrezl Harrell on the defensive side is going to be able to step his game up just because of the guys that's going to be around him. Listen, man, the Clippers are making major moves, and even as a Laker fan, I have to give respect to what Jerry West, the architect of yet another great formation of a team. Remember, Jerry West put together helped put together these Showtime Lakers, helped put together the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. Jerry West was the one who was masterminding getting Kevin Durant to come to Golden State. He was the one who told Golden State, no, you're not trading Klay Thompson for Kevin Love. Jerry West is the one who's behind all of this. That's the one thing as a Laker fan I can honestly say. I underestimated Jerry West. The meeting with Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi told them, listen, get me another star. I knew without a shadow of a doubt Kawhi Leonard was not going to go to any team, be it Toronto, Clippers, Lakers, if he did not have a star beside him. And so he wanted that additional star to help carry the weight. So Kawhi Leonard told the Raptors, told the Clippers, get me another star and we'll consider this thing. We can make this thing happen. From what I hear, Jerry West, Doc Rivers, Lawrence Frank, they scoured the phones, trying to figure out who and how we could add another star. When they connected with the Oklahoma City Thunder and was able to get an agreement to send out 5 first-round draft picks, 2 pick swaps, a young up-and-coming point guard in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and a serviceable wing in Danilo Gallinari, to be able to send those guys out, all of those picks out, for the services of one man. One man who said a couple years ago he wanted to be in LA, in Paul George. Now, the Clippers also have a really good supporting cast to be able to go around these 2 superstars. I mean, once again, they brought back Patrick Beverley. That was critical. The Lakers wanted him, so that was a critical get for the Clippers, is to keep that little pit bull out of the Lakers' hands and keep him on the Clippers roster. He's almost like, between him and Montrezl Harrell, they're like the heart and soul of that Clipper team. But there's others. You've got Zubac. They brought back Zubac. And it's the ties between the Lakers and the Clippers are really immense here. Remember, the Lakers traded the Clippers Zubac last year for Muscala. The Lakers were going in a different direction, looking for shooters, while the Clippers were looking for rim protection. So they made that swap, and Zubac, his nickname is Zublaka. Listen, Zubac has that ability to be a rim protector for them. The Clippers don't have a lot of size, but adding Zubac back to that lineup is going to put him in a position to be that rim protector. So as you have all of these hounds out in front of you, he'll be able to protect that rim. And he also has soft hands around the basket for the offensive end to be able to finish strong off the passes that will be able to come in the easy looks from Paul George and from Kawhi Leonard. But here's the real kicker. They have 2 superstars, but every team needs that third option. The Clippers still have one of the best scorers in the game, in Lou Williams, the 3-time 6th man of the year, coming off the bench in his dynamic scoring role. He's like a microwave scorer. Listen, the man comes in and he's a walking bucket, people. He comes in and all he does is know how to score. He does it in a variety of ways. Lou Williams is one of the best players I've ever seen at being able to draw that 4-point play. Being able to utilize the swing through moves and just the craftiness that he has to be able to draw the foul and still hit the shot on those long distance threes. Now, I think his role will be reduced a bit because you have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but he's still going to be a bona fide scorer. I mean, for the last 2 seasons, he's averaged 20 plus points. He should be legitimately their third option if Montrezl Harrell doesn't surpass him in that, because I think a big time season is coming from Montrezl. The Clippers have positioned themselves. They're going to have an amazing season. They're going to have an amazing season because you have one of the best coaches in the game in Doc Rivers, who's going to be steering this ship. So So it's going to be real interesting to see how the Clippers match up with their cross-court rivals in the LA Lakers. Now, the Lakers, though they were the losers in the Kawhi Leonard race, the Lakers actually probably had the best offseason turnaround of any team. You got to remember, the Lakers last year were looked at as a young, developing, up-and-coming team with this just full of potential. Not anymore. The Lakers have totally remade their roster, and they filled it with vets that fill a specific need. When you're trying to build around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, there's a certain needs that you have to have. You have to be able to go out there and add shooting, and that's what the Lakers did. The Lakers signed two of the top 4 guys on the market in catch-and-shoot situations, in Danny Green and Quinn Cook. Let's start with Danny Green, because Danny Green is going to be a starter right from day one, and Danny Green is perfect for this lineup. Anytime you have a guy like LeBron James, you want to put a spacer beside him, but you also want to make sure that spacer can play defense on the other end. Danny Green is probably the best option the Lakers had of all the free agents this summer to be able to give you a 3 and D role player. And now let's also look at the counterpart, Quinn Cook. Quinn Cook comes in and is playing a backup role, but is still one of the best catch-and-shoot options that the Lakers had available to them. Quinn Cook, like Danny Green, comes in with that championship experience. Playing backup to Stephen Curry with the Golden State Warriors, Quinn Cook was able to win a championship with them, but was also to be a serviceable piece in that rotation. This is a guy who came from Duke University, who won a championship on that level, similar to Danny Green, came to the NBA, and even as a young guy still developing himself, was able to find a role as a spot-up knockdown shooter. This is what every team needs. But one of the biggest offseason acquisitions that the Lakers made, is really truly, I've noticed, kind of gone under the radar, is the addition of DeMarcus Cousins. Listen, DeMarcus Cousins has that ability to be the X factor for the Lakers next year. This time he's joining back up with Anthony Davis, but he's not doing it in the same role as last time. DeMarcus Cousins last year, coming off an Achilles, not what he used to be. Those 2010 days of DeMarcus Cousins, they're gone. The all-star, perennial all-star DeMarcus Cousins, that's gone. But that's not what the Lakers need. If the Lakers can get from DeMarcus Cousins what they got last year, or what he produced last year in Golden State, the Lakers are a problem. DeMarcus Cousins last year, during the regular season, in 30 games, mind you, he missed the beginning of the season. But when he came on, jumping right into the action, being thrown right into the fire, he averaged 16 and 8 with almost 4 assists a game. If he's able to give the Lakers 15 and 8, the Lakers at that point, in my mind, have the best front court in the game. When you're talking about DeMarcus Cousins with Anthony Davis, LeBron James, the combination of skill, the combination of interchangeability, when you can run a high-low set with DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis, or you can run a pick and roll with LeBron and Anthony Davis, or LeBron and Boogie Cousins. Like, I don't know if people really watched a lot of Boogie last year with Golden State. Boogie was not the old Boogie, but Boogie could still boogie. I think he truly is the X factor for the Lakers. But I love some of the other moves that the Lakers made outside of Danny Green and Quinn Cook and DeMarcus Cousins. You got to remember, the Lakers needed shooting, and they needed shooting in a bad way. So they went out there and they added KCP back to the lineup. But a current clutch sport client who's now one of the longest tenured Lakers, along with Kyle Kuzma. So you bring KCP back, but now we're bringing him in a bench role. KCP's not going to be a starter for this team. That's Danny Green's position. KCP's that guy who we've seen. Laker Nation has seen he can come off that bench. It can give you buckets. So when you add KCP back, you added Jared Dudley, you added Troy Daniels, and you bring back JaVale McGee. Now, we're not talking about Shaq and the Fool JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee is about 3 years removed from being that Shaq and the Fool JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee is a 2-time champion, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not forget that, with the Golden State Warriors. JaVale McGee proved last year that he could be a starter in the NBA. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the new coaching staff of Frank Vogel, Lionel Hollins, and Jason Kidd, what type of lineup they throw out there. I think this Laker team has the ability to be elite defensively. I think this Laker team can put out a lineup of JaVale McGee at the 5, with Anthony Davis at the 4, LeBron at the 3, go with Danny Green at the 2 with Rondo at the 1. That's a defensive lineup. Now, LeBron James is not the defender he used to be. I'm not trying to imply that. Rondo's not the defender he used to be. I'm not trying to imply that. But they know with their IQ when to play D. They could turn it on, turn it off. But for the most part, they're coasting. So if you put defenders around them, then they can coast a little bit on defense, apply pressure on offense, but be effective when it's needed, right? So do you go with JaVale McGee in that starting lineup? You have options. But here's something else that a lot of people haven't heard. The Lakers still have money. The Lakers still have their room exception of $4.8 million where they can go out and sign someone else. Well, there's a name that's being floated out there. Another 3-and-D type fella, Andre Iguodala. Well, what if the Lakers were to add him? Well, we're not going to get into that right now because he's not on the team. But there's some other people that are on the way to help fill out that Laker roster. But just looking at the Lakers as it stands right now, you're looking at a 10-man rotation that's pretty solid. So the depth is there. The shooting is there. The defense is there. The coaching is there. The star power is there. The Clippers and the Lakers are about to do battle like they've never battled before. And as much as I wanted Kawhi Leonard to come to the Lakers so that we could form, as Damon Jones said, that super mega team, now that the dust has settled, now that I've had time to actually analyze the moves that have been made from all teams, from all parties, I actually think this is better for the NBA. I think it's better that Kawhi Leonard went to the Clippers, added a star with him, and now you have so many teams. We're talking about so many teams that have a dynamic duo. I'm going to do a video on the top duos in the game. And we're going to see exactly what you all think as far as who ranks as the best duo in the game and who the top 5 duos may be in the game. We'll do that video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and tap that notification so when that video comes out, you'll be notified. But I think this LA Clipper battle is going to be amazing. You got to remember, these teams are going to play each other 4 times next year during the regular season. Ladies and gentlemen, we can see this team play a 7-game series on top of that in the playoffs. Just think about that. There's going to be a lot of amazing basketball coming up, thanks in part to these 2 teams. So listen, we all have Kawhi Leonard to thank for being able to give us the Battle of LA for at least the next 3-4 years. Listen, this is amazing. Listen, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you got some real good value out of this. Listen, I want to first of all thank all the people that subscribed so far, all those that have hit the like button, those that have shared these videos. I sincerely thank you for that. And if you haven't had the chance, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, tap that like button, hit that notification so that you can stay updated with the journey of a Ballaholic.